You were not created to just go to work, pay bills, and die. You were not created to wake up to a life that you're not excited about. You are not created to just survive. You are supposed to be excited when you wake up in the morning. You're supposed to be looking forward to what it is that you have to do throughout your day. You're supposed to really love the work that you do. Now, if this is not how you are currently living your life, then I want to show you how you can build your dream life starting today. How you can design a life that actually makes you smile, that lights you up inside, that you're passionate about, that you're excited to wake up to. How to design a life that you look forward to every day. So let's get right into it. The first thing that you should know is that you're capable of doing this. The problem is that sometimes we don't know what we actually want because we spend our whole life just picking from what we thought was available. So we thought that the only thing that we could pick from was A, B, C, and D because that's all we were exposed to. We weren't exposed to E, F, G, H, J, K, element. We weren't exposed to everything that's actually available for us. The truth is, what you want could be something that you've not been exposed to, but that does not mean that it doesn't exist. What you want could be something that you haven't been exposed to, but it is out there. So you have to get clear on what it is that you want. You have to get clear on what your dream life looks like. So that's step one. Get clear on what your dream life looks like. Who do you want to be? What do you want to do? What do you want to have? When you're thinking about this, you can separate it into categories. So you can separate it into your health and fitness, your relationships, your finances, your career. Just separate it into categories so that we can get as specific as possible in each category and really think about who it is that you are and what it is that you want. Not just what's available to you, not just what's normal to you, not just what you've been exposed to. Think about what it is that you actually want. What you want is out there. Maybe that means that you have to pass on what's around you until you get that. You have to go without for a little while until you can actually get what you want. But what you want is out there. What work would you love to do every single day? What work would you do for free? What work do you feel like would give your life meaning and purpose? Think about the type of relationships that you want. Who do you want to spend your time around? Who do you want to meet? What do you want to learn from other people? What do you want to be able to give to other people? Your health and your fitness. How do you want to feel? How do you want to look? When you look in the mirror, what thoughts do you want to run through your head? Your finances. When you open up your bank account, what do you want to see? When you open up your bank account, how do you want it to make you feel? Get really clear on what you want your dream life to look like. Because step two is once you're clear on what you want your life to look like, you have to get clear on the person that has this dream life. There is a version of yourself that has this dream life. That version of yourself that has your dream life had to behave a little differently than you do currently. They had to act a little differently than you do currently. When you think about this version of yourself that has your dream life, what is her personality like? What is her energy like? How does she talk to herself? What is her self-talk like? How does she move? How does she behave? You have to really get clear on what this version of yourself believes about herself and believes about the world. But remember, this version is you. This version that you are imagining is you. So don't go imagine somebody that's not even nowhere near who you are authentically, who you are at your core. When I say this, I really want you to get to the root of who you truly are. So that means that when I'm talking about the version of you that is living your dream life, I'm talking about the version of you that is not limited by beliefs, not limited by other people's opinion, not limited by the lies that she has absorbed over time. She's not limited by all of the things that you are currently limited by, all of the beliefs, all of the opinions, all of the lies that currently are keeping you stuck in this space that you're at. The version of you that is living your dream life has shed all of that, and now she's the truest, most authentic version of you. That is your goal, to become that version of yourself that is no longer being held captive to the programming that you currently are being limited by the programming of I can't do this or I can't do that. I'm not good enough to do this. I'm not good enough to do that. I'm not smart enough for this. I'm not pretty enough. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. I wasn't born into the right family. We have been programmed to believe certain things about ourselves, and those programs have kept us where we are. They're not going to get us any farther than where we are until we learn to reprogram ourselves for the things that we actually want to achieve. So when I say the dream version of you, thinking about who this version of yourself is, I'm not talking about thinking about somebody that you are not. I'm talking about getting to the true version of you that is not limited by her own beliefs, that is not limited by the lies that you've been taught, that is not limited by the things that you've been influenced by when it comes to maybe your parents or your church or your school or your friends. The version of you that really truly believes that she can do anything, that she's good enough, that she has what it takes to make it, that version of you. So think about what that looks like, who she is, what her personality is like, how she shows up in the world, how she talks to herself, what she truly believes. Now, I want you to think about this version of you that has built your dream life. What type of tasks does she have to do on a regular day in order to manage and maintain the life that she's built? I suggest that you choose 3 categories. So maybe it's your finances, your fitness, and your relationships. Get specific on the tasks that you would have to complete in order to manage and maintain whatever it is that the dream version of you has built. So say your category that you pick is your finances, and your dream life is to, maybe you want to make $100,000 a year. Maybe you want to make $200,000 a year. That dream version of you has achieved the goal of making $100,000 a year. What type of tasks would she have to do in order to manage and maintain her money? She's already made the money. How does she manage and maintain it? Does she budget? Does she read books about finance? Does she put a certain amount of money in her savings every month? Does she invest a certain amount of money every month? Does she listen to certain podcasts about building wealth and about money? Like, what type of tasks does this version of yourself do throughout the day in order to manage and maintain the income that she's brought in, the goals that she's achieved when it comes to her finances? You would have to think about what type of tasks does she do throughout the day. Say she reads 10 pages of a finance book every day. That's one of the tasks that you would write down. That's how she manages and maintains it. Say every paycheck she saves $200. That's one of the things that you would put down. Say every paycheck she invests 5% of her paycheck. That's one of the tasks that you would have to write down. That's how she manages and maintains it. Say every day she listens to one podcast that has to do with finances. That's what you would write down. Every day she listens to a podcast about finances. So those are the tasks that she has to complete every day to manage and to maintain her money. Or say your dream life is you want to have great relationships. You want to have maybe 1 or 2 friends that you are really close with. The version of you that is in your dream life, she has already achieved this goal. You have to figure out what tasks does she complete throughout the day to manage and maintain it. So in order to manage and maintain her friendships, she makes sure that she is taking care of her and being the best friend that she could be. So that looks like maybe she journals every morning. Maybe that version of yourself that has achieved the goal of amazing friendships does the inner work that she needs to do in order to heal in the spots where before it would cause her to close herself off to friendships or not be open to people because she doesn't want to get hurt or she doesn't want to feel like she's not being accepted. So she does the inner work that she needs to do so that those things aren't a problem, so that she can show up as an amazing friend. So that's one of the tasks that you would write down. Or maybe in order to manage and maintain the relationships that she has, she just does little thoughtful things throughout the day, and she makes sure that she's working on being thoughtful. Or she makes sure that she's working on being patient. Or she makes sure that she's working on expressing herself. So those are just tasks that she has to do throughout the day to manage and maintain her relationships. Okay, so now that you have gotten clear on the tasks that your dream self would have to complete throughout the day in order to manage and maintain the life that she has built, now it's time for step 4, which is you have to add similar tasks to your day. Which I like this because you can start this wherever you're at. Even if you work a 9 to 5, even if you're a stay-at-home mom, no matter where you're at in life, it's possible for you to start adding similar tasks to your day right now. So when it comes to adding similar tasks to your day, I like to start from the beginning of my day to the end. Similar tasks to my day looks like in the morning, my dream self, the version of myself that has my dream life, she starts her day off with journaling and some type of movement of her body. Those are two things that I can do right now. I can start off my morning with journaling, and I can start off my morning with moving my body in some way, whether that is stretching, whether that is walking on a treadmill, whether that is doing a quick home workout. It is possible for me to add those tasks to my day. And then you just move on. Look at your schedule, figure out what your dream self would be doing in this part of the day. If you work a 9 to 5 and for that amount of time you aren't able to do what she would do, when you get off you can. You got to clock out sometime. So when you get home, what would she be doing throughout the day at home? Would she be reading books? Would she be taking some type of class? Would she be learning some type of language? Would she have a specific nighttime routine? Like, what would she be doing? You have to figure out how you can add similar tasks throughout your day. Maybe one of the categories that you picked was your career. What would your dream self be doing? How can you add those tasks to your day? So if it was to be an author, how could you add writing the first draft to your day? Where could you add it to your day? If you work a 9 to 5, after you get off of work, you can start thinking about the idea that you have for this book. After you get off work, you can start putting in some time into typing up the first chapter, the second chapter, the third chapter of this book. You have to figure out how to add these tasks to your day, because if you don't add them to your day, you're never going to slowly create your dream life. If it's important to you, then you'll find the time, because we do have time. We have the time. The problem is that a lot of times we spend too much time doing things that are not going to improve our overall quality of life, whether that is scrolling our phone, whether that is watching Netflix and watching TV, whether that is talking to people on your phone. Does your dream self spend all night scrolling TikTok when it's time for bed, or does she get up and lay out her outfit for the next day? Does your dream self, when it's time for bed, does she pray? Does she read her Bible? Does she journal? Or does she spend all night watching Netflix? You're going to have to trade one behavior for another, because the time is there. It's how you're spending your time that you have to figure out. Like, there has to be some give and take. There has to be some replacing one behavior for another. But adding the tasks to your day is a must. That's how you're going to make your dreams reality. That's how you're going to start being excited about the life that you get to live. That's how you're going to have some things that you're going to look forward to. Adding these tasks to your day, because you have to take action. Knowing what you want does not matter if you're not taking action towards actually getting it. Knowing the type of life that you want to live does not matter if you are not executing, if you are not doing what you need to do in order to make it happen. All right, and so now it's time for the warning, and here it is. You are going to mess up. You are going to come up with excuses. You are going to have moments where you go back to your old ways. Like, you're going to have so many times where you fall back into your old routines and your old patterns. And that is because this version of yourself that you are being, you have become this version of yourself, and now you can be this version of yourself on autopilot. You don't have to think about it. Your subconscious mind is working in the background, helping you be this version of yourself without you having to do anything to be this version. So you're going to wake up and you're going to, without thinking, fall back into old patterns and old routines. Your job is to be aware that you're doing it and correct yourself as often as you can, which is why it's going to help for you to write these things down. It's going to help for you to post these things somewhere, to set alarms in your phone. You have to do some things that are going to snap you out of autopilot and remind you of who it is that you want to become, so you can stop being this version of yourself that you are right now. You're going to have to shed this old version of you slowly over time. But as you're shedding, you're going to still continue to show up as this version of you every once in a while. Don't beat yourself up. Please don't beat yourself up. Please don't let that make you quit. Don't let that make you think that because I keep doing the same things that I used to do, I can't change. Because I keep doing the same things that I used to do, it's not going to happen. You have to give yourself time to become the new version of yourself. Just like you learned how to become this version of yourself, it's going to take time to become the version of yourself that you truly are. It's going to take time to unlearn all of these limiting beliefs. It's going to take time to unlearn all the lies that you have accepted to be true about who you are and what you can do. It's going to take time to unlearn all those things. It's not just going to happen overnight. That's normal. Show yourself some grace, and then as soon as you notice, correct yourself. Do the new thing that you want to do, the new task that you have added into your day. I want to also suggest that you get something that is going to help you, because trying to tackle this on your own might be overwhelming. There are tools out here that will help you. There are systems out there that will help you. And I created one that is called the Reinvent Yourself Accelerator. So remember I said, you think about your dream life and then you become the version of yourself that has this dream life. The Reinvent Yourself Accelerator helps you become this version of yourself that has your dream life, because it helps you figure out what you need to unlearn, what you need to learn, what habits you need to work on, what beliefs you need to believe in order to actually get what you want. It helps you, even if you don't know what you want, it helps you figure out what it is that you want. Maybe right now you don't know what tasks you need to be completing, what tasks you need to add to your day that is similar to what your dream version of yourself would be doing. This program is going to help you figure that out. If you are interested in it, I'm going to put the link down somewhere below. And if you use code NEWME2025, then you can get 10% off. But I really hope that these steps have helped you. I hope that you actually commit to the process. I hope that you actually commit to creating a life that you are excited about living. Creating a life that you wake up excited and looking forward to, because that is what you were created to do. Like I said, you were not created to just survive. You were created to thrive. So hopefully these steps helped. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. If you like content like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.